What is happening, Dolphins fans, and welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate with your host, El Capitan. Tonight, on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, a little bit of news coming out here in the last couple of hours that I figured would be a great topic to delve into. Salary caps. Whoa, mic went down. Salary caps at the quarterback position. News coming across the timeline here, and you'll see it everywhere tomorrow because it just happened a couple of hours ago, that NFL executives are working hard to try to get quarterback salary extension caps because contracts are getting out of control. Teams can't keep up with the inflation at the position. And how does this affect Tua Tagovailoa? I find it very interesting that here the Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa are at a stalemate, as well as Dak Prescott and Jordan Love, which reports coming out at the Green Bay Packers. They're not having a good time right now with the Jordan Love talk. And say all three of these quarterbacks decide to themselves, that they're going to hold out, and what could that do for three quarterbacks like that to be on the open market to the inflation of the quarterback price? Is the NFL looking to get out of that? Are they taking away leverage from Tua Tagovailoa, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love? Absolutely. We're going to get into all that stuff. Also, happy Juneteenth. Got crypto color in the back. We'll talk a little bit about that too. Historic day. Been some ups and downs with the reception of the holiday, but Color made a good comment earlier today about, it's a holiday, it should be recognized, right? Like, we weren't taught it, we weren't educated on the thing, and to go back and think now, just a couple years ago, that it was something that you wouldn't recognize is kind of weird. So we'll get into that too. Hit the like button on the way in. Subscribe if you're new. If you're watching on some other platform or this is clipped up and you see it somewhere, come over here to YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, become a member, and let's get right into it.
Turner Yell makes the stop in the secondary for Denver. 1st and 10. The fake. Good. Block in there, and down it goes. Caught at the 30. This is the dynamic hill. He's in for 6. Tyreek Hill. Touchdown. What a block.
Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters. They're just your downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off, it's these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it.
Yes. Welcome, gentlemen, Crypto and Color. Shout out to everybody in chat getting in here early. Raph, Jamie, Daniel, Ryan AP, the member in the crib. Hit the like button, everybody. Join the membership. Get into the live chat. Boys, let's get into it. First off, Color, I want you to go on the soliloquy you did earlier about educating people about what Juneteenth, the holiday, is before we start getting into this quarterback stuff.
Sure.
And Crypto, I want you to, touch on the subject after Color does a little, color commentary, Lando take style, because that's how Color gets down. So, and then a Crypto, I want you to come in and,
well, this may surprise you how I start, but in the spirit of every holiday has a way to practice it and a way to, a custom associated with that holiday. And so in the spirit of this holiday, Juneteenth, I'm gonna relinquish the floor to my brother Crypto and let him speak on it first and what it means to him as a holiday.
That would be great. Yeah, Crypto. Tell us, Crypto.
Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you loud and clear, buddy.
Well, I have to say that, I mean, as far as what it means to me, as far as what it means is basically the final recognition of the final liberation of blacks, as far as them being recognized as free. You know, even though those freedoms came sort of at the time in the 18, at that time during that year, it was finally recognized, but the rest of the nation didn't know because we basically ran by snail mail. The news didn't quite get out to as fast to all the other
Yeah.
parts of the freaking country that was liberated and
Mhm.
freed. So it was like, oh,
Pony Express took time back in the day.
yeah, it's like carrier pigeon, and it was pretty much living in bondage, and all that time. And I would say it was more pseudo freedom because it was an additional 30, not 30, well, more than 10 decades of that launched the Jim Crow era that
Yeah.
led to further rights that had to be implemented even 100 plus years down the road. So
Sure.
it was an actual freedom that came, but it was more so in parts of the country in name only, per se, and we had to grow out of that. So recognizing this day as a actual holiday, is pretty big because you can say the birth of the nation being 1776 July 4th as an Independence Day. This will be by definition be Independence Day for African Americans. It will be basically that equivalent as
So
far as trying to level the playing field from it comes to you're no longer are obligated to serve a master per se.
The word
So
would
that
be
would be the true
liberated.
Independence Day of African Americans.
Right. The
yeah,
word would be
liberation.
liberated.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing,
Right.
Color. I would say this,
From the,
crypto, at the
that would
minimum,
be the Independence Day.
because the Jim Crow era and the things that followed, even Juneteenth. Again, at the very
And
minimum,
remember, it was Texas that
Yes.
started, that initiated. Yeah.
that's right. A couple things. One, there's tons of frivolous holidays, right? And I don't mean to diss any holidays people love, but like a Father's Day,
Paganism.
a Mother's Day,
Yeah.
what
Paganism. That's what it is.
Right.
there's so
Yeah.
many frivolous holidays that to have
Valentine's
this
Day.
as a holiday, whether semantics aside of Jim Crow, something to be at minimum recognized and celebrated, right? It's something the nation should be proud of.
Right. And here's
And
why.
having that cemented in is a good remembrance. And the odd part in Color, I'm going to let you go after this,
Sure.
was the lack of education by the masses of us to know these exact dates anyhow, which is
There
more.
was very few and far between.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
We was
ignorance is
told
ignorance.
about it in Illinois, but Illinois was never acknowledged. At the time, we didn't even come around to it up there.
Really?
Right.
That doesn't surprise me.
And look,
'cause
we're not
as much as
talking
they
about
say that they're about shit, I see differently.
and
anyhow.
we're not talking about dumb backwoods school systems. We're just talking about particular things that somebody said there's not enough time in the day for that particular fact of history. And I
think it's a
find
critical friggin' error on.
I find it almost
education.
offensive to not have learned
Yeah.
about that until later in life, right?
I think it's a shame the nation should wear and understand and feel better that shame is beyond us. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing.
And here's the thing. So if people aren't aware, and this is a fact of history, that on June 19th, 1865, there was a battalion of Union soldiers that made it to Texas to actually announce that the Emancipation Proclamation and all that. So during the time before, as Crypto alluded to, before those troops got there, which was Galveston Bay, Texas, those people were still living under the same conditions that they had been in the South from the start of this country. So so, and probably before that. But the thing of it is that you know, when you think about it, on June 18th, 1865, there were human beings that were enslaved. And on June 19th, 1865, those people were liberated. And that's something that should be celebrated and should be remembered and honored as a matter of a federal holiday. I understand that there's a lot of politics tied with it. You know what I mean? And everybody wants to claim this or that or the other and what it might be about or why it started. But 3 years removed from its beginning, from its inception, I just encourage everybody to look at this type of holiday, research the history on it, understand why it actually deserves its place, regardless of how or why you think it might have been, brought forward. But ask yourselves this: 50 years from now, 100 years from now, should we really be questioning the fact that we're celebrating a day when all human beings in this country were fully liberated? Now, as Crypto said, yeah, those people still had to deal with decades of, discrimination, racism, all kinds of stuff. But until liberated, there was nothing. There was no system for them to even operate in to remedy those grievances. And so, and that
Right. It was
final
zero.
day was
That's-
June 19th, 1865, and it should be remembered and recognized. And
And again,
to
I
me,
want
the federal mail
to
system should be shut down.
I want to like pin at the point too. It's something that we should feel good and have a contention of pride to look into history and know that this is where good progression. This is when shit started going better. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always so much nonsense all the time. I don't understand.
That's when you can acknowledge the attempt.
Yeah, you can acknowledge it.
If we're all to
It's a good
recognize
thing.
ourselves as humans, then yeah, it all comes in steps. So we don't want to forget. That doesn't lessen the importance of 1776. It doesn't lessen the importance of anything else, but it does rise itself to those levels where it should be. And the fact that
right, that's why I use the term Independence Day for if you want to use that particular, descriptor of it when it comes to.
I say shoot off fireworks and celebrate.
Yeah,
you can literally.
To me, if you think about it, right,
true
Crypto?
independence, because the final nation was freely independent as a whole,
and that's what this country's about. Fucking independence, buddy, liberation. And you're telling me we're doing more of that? Sign me up, dog. Give me some.
So in theory, actually, today is actually truly the true total independence of the entire nation.
Yes.
You can say today is truly
and
independence.
Anybody
Day.
Looping it in with other kinds of agendas and this and that or the other,
right?
You're being.
That's when everybody.
Cut it out. Cut it out, dude. We're not. It's not. It's not to say 4th of July ain't gonna celebrate our independence from
England. Yes,
from England. You know what I'm saying? This is an independence of the nation you see today amongst us. Because let's call it for what it is. In those times,
independence of Americans.
Who's really free, dude? I mean, that's a terrible, God, dude. Like, how do you sleep with yourself?
I mean, we could all argue that we're all
right.
And remember,
it was liberated, but that's a different.
It was a civil war. We could be two nations right now. That's earmarking the end of civil war amongst this nation. It is a new Independence Day in that aspect for all of this nation and its peoples and its cultures. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Holla.
I mean, look, do we not? Here's a great example. Do we not honor the Battle of New Orleans? Andrew Jackson, all of that. Do we not honor that?
We honor a lot of stuff.
Well,
and
I'm just
to say that we're not honoring this before,
it's a footnote in history when it comes to Andrew Jackson.
The reason is the only reason that we honor the Battle of New Orleans is because it was a battle that was fought in the American Revolution that happened after the British signed a treaty with us and ended the war. But because of messages taking forever to get different places back then,
carrier pigeon,
the British were still attacking New Orleans.
Yeah, dude. And let's not act like in today's day and age of information and in today's day and age of communication, I mean, listen, bro, they were still finding guys on deserted islands around Japan that still thought World War II was fucking
Right.
going down, dog. Like,
But we don't
things
sit
have
here and-
changed.
Yeah, on
People
the
progress.
yeah.
But we don't sit here
Let's
and
change
throw
and
away-
progress with
What I'm
the
saying
with the
is
good
we don't
times are
sit-
rolling.
We don't sit here and throw away the battle in New Orleans because it happened after we gained our independence. It was still fought for the same reasons. Those people down there that didn't get the message yet thought they were still fighting for our independence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you know what Joe Levisky, I see what he says. Some people say North Florida as a state and South Florida as a state. I see that because there is distinctive differences of Florida, but honestly, those days are
Yeah.
gone.
The
Florida
experiment of
is
Florida in general was, I think KP brought this up when it was talking about the proposal to the 40 acre and move proposal started with first starting out with giving blacks a lot of land in South Florida as
absolutely.
a way to do that. Yeah, as a way to compensate for what happened in the Civil War. I mean, previous to the Civil War.
You know,
Yeah,
I'll give you.
that was a proposal that was thrown out there to start with the southern parts of Florida.
You want a little. You want a little
That's that.
crazy. You want a little crazy.
It's crazy. That's a true
what you
north
call
south.
Crypto. You want a little crazy Florida history?
Yeah.
All right. So the governor of Florida during a time long ago in the early stages of Florida, when they were trying to build the state up because it was such a hard state to build up. This is after the railroads started and everything like that. Couldn't get people to live down here because it was so damn hot. So
Right.
they sent these things to people in like Portugal, Minorca, small northern African nations, stuff like that, right? And nations in South America to that, hey, you come to Florida, you work here and work with us, and then you're gonna get land and stuff. And this is after listen, so they
Talking about the
I don't remember
Homestead
the
Act.
exact
It was
dates,
the
but
Homestead Act.
so yes, they were saying you come here, you work
Mm-hmm.
with us, and then you're gonna get land and shit like that. And this was all in like New Smyrna area, uh, uh, out west from there, south of that, everything like that, right? And it turns out the governor and the businessman that was running the state at the time, it was a scam. It was indentured servitude. They were trapping them here and not giving them the land and not pay, like they had them by the balls.
Right.
Meanwhile, my great granddad, his last name was Pawn, a Menorcan, from a small island off of Portugal. He owned a bunch of land up here, and you could read about this in St. Augustine. He owned a bunch of land and offered them all to come to live on some of his land, and he'll help give them things and set them up. And they all walked from New Smyrna up there by the thousands, and he gave them a whole bunch of land, kept true to his word and shit and everything. It's like a whole fucking deal. Crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts, right?
Well, yeah,
that's how far back my lineage goes to Florida.
To Florida.
Since it was a territory, dog.
Was it in the southern tip or the northern
So
part?
these were people mostly in the South and Central Florida, and he brought them all up to Jacksonville area. They walked from New Smyrna to Jacksonville and South Jacksonville, North St. Augustine, and he's buried in the oldest cemetery in Florida.
In St. Augustine?
In St. Augustine, yeah.
Yeah, that's the oldest city in the
yeah.
Yep.
That's where he's buried. Pretty dope, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
All these people from, Portugal, Minorca, northern parts of Africa and South America, they were all stuck, dude. They had them screwed over. They were living like fucking slaves or beating on them. They weren't paying them, weren't feeding them. They were dying. They were working them. They basically screwed them. They basically took immigrants in that didn't have any recognition and made them into slaves, and there wasn't shit they could do about it. And they had nowhere to go. They had nothing. They left their countries to come here, and they were screwed. And great granddad fucking hooked them up, gave them land, gave them for free. He ended up, I think it was his grandson after that, right around World War II. They gave all the land in Jacksonville where the old friggin' naval base is for free. They gave it to him as like fucking. That's why I'm poor. They done gave everything away.
Right.
But all because they love America and shit, believe in freedom. Dope, right?
That's all the territory.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Juneteenth, good thing. I think it's a good fucking thing to celebrate. Nation should be proud of themselves. I like
In
a
50
second
years from now,
Independence
we'll
Day
forget
of.
we were having all these arguments about it,
Right.
all that because
Well,
it happened.
I understand. Listen, first of all,
Fact of history.
I just want to make something very clear. People don't like change, and Americans fucking hate it. Right? People don't like change, and Americans hate it because more often than not, what we've come to be accustomed to in America as citizens, especially when it pertains to government stuff, is that change means, yeah, they're talking about what I'm going to give you, but really they're
New
taking some
adventure.
shit away. You know what I'm saying? They say, "Oh, look, this is what I'm going to give you," but really you're taking shit away and you're spinning it. And we've come accustomed to that here in America. So I understand our desire to be like, "Yo, what's the catch?" Right? But to me, how could
I
there
think
be
that's
any
more of a
catch?
human instinct more so than what you call.
For sure, I
Most
get you there,
most
but
humans are skeptics
well,
by
yeah, but
default.
I think I think
Mhm.
Americans on the whole, right? Whether you're a highly educated person with a high IQ or you suffer from being just below average, their instinct in America is like, fuck you. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What you trying to pull on me? And I understand that too. So, but all in all, what are we talking about here, dog? Talking about more good things that represent the nation at large. And that's never wrong, man.
And I'm
Right.
just here to say that put the politics aside. It's a real one. It's a real
That's right.
holiday.
Right.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Here.
Politics aside,
Yeah, they don't like
fuck out of here.
And when
it.
you research it, and when
I
you
think
research the history behind it, it becomes very clear why this one will last.
Word.
you
Not
know
just,
you know what's ironic about what you said though, Cap? Even though Americans that the DNA now doesn't really more resistance to change or any kind of radical change or any aggressive change, but we were kind of founded on radical change and aggressive change when we fled Britain when to start the country to begin with.
well, yeah.
That was
I
a
mean,
radical idea
well,
to flee a
I would.
monarchy to go start a whole new nation and
Well, I
venture
say,
off and start a society
crypto.
absent from the rule of
I'm in
England.
1,000% agreement with you because
Yeah, it's
I
ironic.
think we're talking about the same thing here. We're willing to change and really fight for it. You feel me? Like just like
Yeah.
when we don't let nothing taken from us, we ain't gonna like that. So we'll fight back on that. I feel like
Was built on rebellion. This nation
that's
literally was
right.
built on
That's
rebellion.
right. That's right.
That's the fabric
That's
of
right.
of every being, of this nation. It was totally built on 100%
100%,
rebellion.
bro.
Yeah,
Listen, I'm about it, dog. I'm about it. I don't give
we
a
were
fuck.
rebels.
I think we should celebrate it the motherfucking right way too. Like I feel like the holiday is gonna get better as the years go, dog. That's what I'm
Yeah,
just thinking, where's this holiday gonna be in like 7 years? It's gonna be a fucking cool ass holiday because it's still in its
it's
small.
crazy because it's literally 2 weeks away from 4th of July. It's like a
That's
week
right.
and
That's
a half
right.
or so. It's
That's
close
right.
enough to that date
Yeah.
where it's
I'm
like
just saying, like,
it would be a whole Independence Week by the 7 years from now. It'd be called
hell
Independence
yeah,
Week.
let's celebrate it American style, dude, all up and down. I love it. I think
There
it's
we go.
cool.
We'll create a whole Independence Week.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
That
I
is
like it.
because
You know
we
what
had a thing called the Taste of Chicago in Chicago. What it do is a whole bunch of restaurants get out, have festivities out
yeah,
on
yeah,
the lakefront, and it
yeah.
leads up to the 4th of July celebrations. That's like the last day, of the
Yeah, yeah,
taste.
yeah.
So we can have something like that. Started on Juneteenth and ended on the 4th of July.
I'm just saying, like,
Well,
do
all
it
that's
up.
got to happen is it's got to be around enough to where people start to form customs around it, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh my God, the cooking is too good on Juneteenth." It's like it's
Yeah,
a
dude.
solid
That's
American
I'm
holiday.
thinking the
Yeah,
same. I'm
all
just
the
thinking,
greatest restaurants in the in the country come together, just
hell
have
yeah,
one big
dog.
cookout.
Hell yeah.
That's what solidifies our culture and our customs. We've got to create them. That's what America's about, for us to create our own customs. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. That's what perfectly put, color. there's holidays that run through tons of other nations. This our holiday, yo. This our holiday.
Yeah.
We get to. This is an American only holiday, like 4th of July. Like we
in a very
get
but I don't want to take
in a
away
very
from what
hard
it's-
American way,
because
though.
it is a Black American holiday. But if we
Nah,
have to
fuck all that. That's where I get.
No, but I'm
I
just
say
saying.
I,
No, wait, let me finish real quick.
no,
What I'm saying is
my
we
holiday
have
too,
to
dog.
recognize that. But what I'm talking about is the creation of it, the fact that it's going to be here for 50 years. That's up to us as Americans to create that custom and honor it and continue it.
Listen, I
Black,
just
Well, yeah,
white, green,
it
brown,
should stand
yellow,
the
don't
test
matter
of
what
time.
color you are.
Yeah, it
Crypto.
should stand the
You
test
lead,
of
I
time.
follow. You tell me what we're doing, dog. That's what I want. You lead, I follow on Juneteenth. I want to know what party is happening, and I'm down for all that.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
We setting it all up.
Hell,
State
that's
by
what I'm
state.
saying. And
The
I just want to
best of
be there
every
to
state.
celebrate, dog. I want to be a part. That's it.
The best of every
You
state
tell
has to
me.
offer.
Hell
Cook it
yeah,
up,
dog.
serve it up.
What
We
you need
have
me to
a
bring?
50 blast.
Take
What
for
you need me to
instance,
bring? Tell me what I need to bring.
but take
Crypto.
for instance an even more
Oh.
way more frivolous holiday like
We
St.
got-
Patrick's Day. Aren't we all Irish on St. Patrick's Day?
Everybody Irish on St.
Well,
Patrick's
pretty
Day.
much.
Damn it.
Wears green. Everybody
Exactly.
does the
And
same.
I'm eating scotched
I still
eggs.
drink Shamrock shakes. I still drink those.
Yeah, I drink a
Shamrock
shamrock shake and eat some scotched eggs on fucking St. Patty's Day and wear green. On Juneteenth, Crypto, what am I bringing? What do I need to bring to the cookout to make sure?
You could bring some corn on the cob, some barbecue corn on the cob.
Oh, shit, barbecue corn on a cob. All right, I'm down.
Yeah.
You right? Cook it with the husk still on it. I'm
With the
about
husk
it.
still on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
start
know
off with that.
I know what time it is.
So, yeah,
What else?
that'll definitely work. Some good old.
I mean, listen, I know Crypto. I'm more of like from the south. So like, you want me to bring some
Okay.
frog legs or something, dog?
frog
You want me to
legs.
bring?
Oh yeah, that'll work. Some frog
Yeah, you want me
legs
to bring some frog legs or some gator tail
or
or some
fish and
shit?
chips. Oh yeah,
What?
yeah. I haven't tried gator, but yeah, I would love some gator.
Okay,
I would love to
all
try
right.
it.
I'm bringing some frog legs. I'm bringing some gator tail. What about swamp cabbage? You want some of that?
No, I haven't had the swamp cabbage. I have
All right,
regular red.
I'm gonna
red
tell
cabbage.
you. I'm gonna tell you what the swamp cabbage is. We got palm trees here in South Florida, and there's a bunch of different kinds, but this is like a palm frond tree, and you eat the heart of the palm. It's a cabbage. Fire, bro. Fire.
It is.
Shit is so good,
So
bro.
what- So it's the tree husk.
I've never heard of
It's
swamp
it's
cabbage.
it,
Yeah,
it's,
I never
it's
heard
in
that.
the it's in the listen,
So
bro.
it's a tree husk. You talking
It's-
about?
So no, it's
Right?
you're thinking of like a palm tree grows tall. This is more like a palm bush.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like the core of
Okay.
it.
Kind of like
Think about
do you call it?
like
Like
a
an aloe.
lemongrass core. You know what
like
I mean?
aloe.
No, not like an aloe. Think of like a hard palm, like all palm fronds from the ground up. Right?
Mhm.
There's no fucking trunk on this thing. It's just palm fronds
Right,
from the
it's like
ground up.
Think of it like a lemongrass core, Crypto, like the core of a lemongrass plant.
No way, dude. It's way bigger than that, dog.
Well,
They get
yeah.
huge.
I'm just saying it all goes down to that central like knot.
Anyhow, they
No
grow.
one thing.
You-
Agaves grow like that too. It sounds
Yeah,
like how
kinda.
agave do.
I would say it's kind of like the heart of an agave, but the tree is a palm, and it's fire. It's
Mhm.
so good. I'm about it, dog. I'm about that. All right, so
Hey,
frog
don't they
legs,
call 'em
gator tail, and
cabbage
some
palms?
swamp cabbage.
Don't they
The
call them
swamp cabbage.
cabbage palms? Kev?
What do you use?
They
What
call
do
it
you,
the heart of the palm.
But I'm saying, don't they call the
you
trees
boil
a
it or
cabbage
you
palm?
fry it? What do you do
No,
with it?
they
Steam it?
don't. I don't know what they call them. I just know they call them they eating the heart of the palm or swamp cabbage. That's what I know it as.
Swamp cabbage.
That's gross.
Shit's good, boy. Shit's good. Shit's good.
Yeah.
Do you eat the iguana?
Yeah,
that's tied in it?
we'll save the apple cider and vinegar for you, Nene, to bring it.
You know, I
bring
was
it to
just
the
about
cookout.
to say, I was just about to add that Nene was going to probably bring the apple cider vinegar for you.
What the heck,
Right.
dude?
You'll probably have the apple cider vinegar on the side. You could dip the palm cabbage in there.
Man, Los
There we go.
Dolphinaticos saying I'll bring
Sprinkle some
bats
pepper.
and scorpions, and then
That's
Joe
awesome.
Rist is saying I'm gonna show up with smoked raccoon and swamp ass salad.
Is that the
No.
best
Talking
Florida
about
has to
West
have, Joe
Virginia
Rich?
shit.
God damn, raccoon?
Talking
First
about
of
West
all-
Virginia shit.
First of all, there's a lot of people that eat raccoon. I
Jeez.
don't. I
No
don't,
way.
because they're super sweet.
You're not supposed to
and
eat a
kind.
rodent.
They're not a rodent. They're not a rodent. They're a marmorat. So they're more like a bear.
They're in the weasel family, aren't they?
They're more like a bear.
Like a
They
bear.
basically
They
like
have, first of
they're
all, they
basically
have
a
opposable
king-size rat.
thumbs. They have opposable thumbs, and they're super fucking sweet, bro. When like they're just super nice. We've had a
Oh.
couple as pets, not at my house, but
Jesus.
at my family's, and they're so sweet. They want to just play and stuff like that, and they always want to
Scratch
share
you and
their
claw
food.
you. Oh, I can't deal with them.
They
Boy.
always want to share their food, bro. They're fucking sweet little things. And
They
I'm
wash
telling
their food and soak
they're
it in
really,
water.
really
Yep, they
smart,
clean
dude.
their food. They always want to share it with you. They play with your hair. They run around and jump like dogs do, and they get like zoomies and shit. They're fucking sweet,
Really
dude. I love
smart too,
I
bro.
don't know. I don't know what kind of
There's-
raccoons you talking. The raccoons here are bad. They bust
well,
open
no,
trash
of course,
cans and
wild ass. I'm just talking
freaking-
about when you can domesticate a raccoon, and it's a pretty awesome pet. That's what I'm saying,
I
dog.
don't know if I'm willing to try that.
So it's all fun and games until they slash
It's
your
like
face off.
domesticating a skunk or something.
All right. Let's,
Turn into a
again,
badger
let's-
on you. and
let's
shit.
move-
Slash
we've been
your
off on
face
a fucking tangent for the last half hour. Let's again, happy Juneteenth, everybody. For those of you that feel that there's malice intentions behind the holiday, I say this: make it your own and celebrate it and be proud of this holiday. And it's another great American holiday worth celebrating. And in 10, 15, 20 years, you're going to look back and celebrate it with the rest of us and allow your fears and potential bigotry to subside, because that's all we've seen my whole life. Is it's always gotten better. And I believe in that. And I feel like,
Or
this
you can
is
stay home
again.
and sit on your little pity couch and not have fun with the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be a fucking stick in the mud and not be cool, then fuck off. That's it, bro. You don't want to be cool? What are you, a nerd? What are you, a dork? See, that's how you really get them. That's how you get them. Like, well, I'm not a nerd. I'm not a dork.
It's the point you wanted me that I was making earlier today, Cap. That I think that you wanted me to get to tonight.
Okay, yeah.
Is that there are so many things so less worthy of our attention and celebration than this, that I don't know why people just don't embrace it and say it's a great thing to honor.
Again, all the way around, dude. I just don't get it. But all right. Salute. Let's everybody hit the like button that's in here. We're gonna get talking about this NFL QB salary cap. And how it affects Tua Tagovailoa and other quarterbacks hoping and waiting. And we're just going to discuss it. We're going to get all into it.
Austerity is on the way, folks. I said it. I said it here first.
So before we get to that, guys, make sure you're checking out TFTGnetwork.com, checking out, Fanatics in the description, links to everything. Make sure to check out all the great stuff we got. Hit the like button, become a member. And make sure to visit TFTGnetwork.com.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Make sure to visit TFTGnetwork.com. All right. So, yeah, boys. Yeah. Gonna do my radio voice here in the second half of the show. Make sure to hit the dial at TFTGnetwork.com. Make sure you guys are checking it all out. I always get more like a dude, at the strip club than a dude that's,
well, I have no
doing
practice
radio.
in fact, El Capitan. I have no idea what it's like to be a radio show host. I just mimic what I've seen my whole life.
Word. KP, welcome, sir.
Everything is about imitation.
KP,
You know,
did you catch the
like-
first half of the show? Uh-oh.
Yeah, KP, you have to check it out if you didn't see it first.
I don't know if KP is unmuted. I see Ali's in the back too.
I think life is a simulation by definition.
The Miami Towers are busy right now with all them Boston Celtic fans in town.
Oh, bro, don't color. I can't believe it. Look, first of all, I kind of understand it, right? And we just went through the whole talk about Juneteenth. And if I was a Boston Celtics player, I wouldn't want to spend it in Boston. Said it. Fuck y'all.
Right. You want to flee
I
from
don't want to spend it in Boston. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I say. It's the Disney World effect. You know, everybody say I want to go to Disney World after they win the Super Bowl for some reason.
That's true. That's true.
Miami is becoming that kind of a place, man. It's just a destination for partying and hooking up. So
that ain't no fucking lie, KP. It's becoming
the Disney effect.
It is getting it's getting like, you know, you'll need one of them wristbands to get downtown one of these days. The whole freaking state's becoming that way.
Just to get downtown, they let you in. Everything's barricaded.
Yep, you'll have to go to the parking garages that they have. You'll pay the guy and the fee, and then you'll go in and you'll have to walk through a turnstile to pay to get in. And if you're going to buy anything while you're in there, you need a special wristband that goes right to your debit account. That's how it's going to be everywhere in this bitch.
Yep. Or they start scanning your palm like Whole Foods does when I buy. I don't even take out my card or wallet. I just scan my palm, and it's connected to my bank account.
No lie, crypto. I haven't carried a wallet in like 3 years. And if
they
you don't
literally got the palm of my hand.
If I can't pay with my phone,
connected to my bank account.
If I can't pay with my phone at your establishment, I don't shop there.
Crypto, have you ever read Revelation?
Yes.
I think it's chapter
can't 13. Buy or sell without that mark.
Isn't it chapter 13?
But the thing is, I wasn't forced to do it.
Well, but again, as we move into the new paradigm, eventually we will be.
No.
Good luck. Well, that would definitely go into the book of Revelation.
Okay, but remember, through translation and all that, forced might be a little harsh. It might be more like compelled, where it's kind of hard to do any business.
Then if you can't buy or sell anything, that's when you know you've reached that stage, color. But yeah, I could still whip out my wallet. That's the thing. I just made it that way so it's convenient. Now, if Whole Foods say you cannot come into our stores unless you have your palm swap, then that's a problem.
Right.
None of that.
Game Boy
I will say this.
Game
Boy
vending machine now.
Game Boy in chat asks if I shop at Walmart, and not if I can help it, dog. Like I literally, and you know what else? Home Depot and Lowe's too. And every time I got to shop at those establishments, I got to bring my wallet, and I am fucking pissed about it. I'm pissed about it every time.
But dude, like Walmart's around here now, they're all like big vending machines now. They literally don't have anybody working at them.
Yep. I gotta go there.
Yeah, everything. Everything you can.
I don't even like it.
And grab and go. You know.
Anyhow, all right. So let's get on to the subject, guys. So, NFL. There's been big discussions amongst owners on how to figure out some form of salary cap for quarterbacks, and Rich Eisen, Tom Pelissero. All reporting on this stuff. It says this is what Tom Pelissero said on Rich Eisen. He said there's certainly been discussions within the league amongst certain owners about even the idea of a quarterback cap, that at some point you don't want quarterback numbers to go over a certain percentage of your salary cap. To my knowledge, that hasn't really gained traction, in part because so many teams have paid their quarterbacks. Now, that doesn't mean something can't be, retroactive, right? It's not like a guy who got paid is going to have to, he gets grandfathered in. I do think it is a good, I think it's a good idea, especially because I feel like in the long play of quarterbacks and players, that they're going to need to expand the rosters because they're going to want to expand the seasons because they're going to want to expand the league internationally. And if they're going to do that, they can't have quarterbacks, even the best in the world, taking up a quarter of your salary. Because if you expand the roster by say 3 or 4 guys, and the cap is reflected on that by a staggering $30 more million, right, on top of whatever the number went up that year. So say like in a single year, it goes up $65 million. We can't have certain players in the league becoming pig-headed and saying, I want all that money for me, because a team doesn't want to get rid of them because they're a valued asset. And I'm not saying that that won't happen if they don't put something in place, but it's going to have to correct itself, because in a 20 game league season, 22 week season where they have 2 bye weeks and now an 8-week friggin' Super Bowl or playoffs into a ninth, we're talking 30 weeks or some shit, some crazy number.
Right.
Sorry, I had to sneeze. They can't ask any one player to be so great to play that amount of time in this game. So they're going to need to dissect, and they're already doing load management, right? And it needs to be built in such a way that is fair, because we're fans, right? And I want the best players on my team. I want the Tyreek Hills. You know what I'm saying? I want the big name free agent signings just like everybody else. But we can't, in the spirit of Juneteenth, with progression and really just, understanding and looking towards the future and a brighter future, the sport needs to look at itself and they know where they're going. They got to get it under control. They've got to, because what they're not going to be able to expand if you've got teams hitting the wall because they're paying the most talented athletes. It's going to be bad. You're going to take a team with a top quarterback and pay him the top money, and he won't ever perform as a top quarterback because they can't afford to put the shit around him. And they got to find a healthy medium. And right now, the way quarterback contracts are running wild, we're talking motherfuckers be throwing around $275 million like it ain't shit. We're talking over $250 million fucking dollars for 4 or 5 years of some guy's career. They're going to be,
they don't even
every freaking quarterback's going to be, if your quarterback in today plays 10 years, you're a fucking billionaire. Like, rich people ain't gonna let that shit fly, dude.
Yeah, 10 years.
Can I speak on something you alluded to in your intro? About I don't know who Dak Prescott's agent is, but can somebody update me on that? Is it who I think it is?
I don't know. What I mean,
the same agent that Tua and Jordan Love have.
Hold on a second. I don't think it
surprise
is.
me.
Let me look at it. I'm pulling it up right now.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'll speak slowly then as Ali is looking that up. Because
I see you, Money Mitch. I see you, Money Mitch, in chat.
What may actually be going on here, if you're talking about all of a sudden this gets put out about a QB salary cap and the league execs talking about it and the owners, whatever, then I'm thinking maybe Cap for Life can answer. Cap for Life, who's Dak Prescott's agent?
I'm not looking it up, so
I like looking it up. But
I like the anticipation of somebody finding it.
I think he's on to what I'm saying. He's like, I tried telling you guys, color. I think that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got you. Again, yeah. And here's
the thing, though. This group at least has 2 of the 3 players we're talking about that are still without a new contract.
Just so you know, it's Faith Fight Finish Foundation.
Okay. So it's not them, but
no. I'm sorry, it's not them. That's not who it is. Todd France. Whoever Todd France is.
Cap for Life saying it's athletes first.
You're right. He had joined forces with
right.
Exactly.
So you're talking about 2. I'm not gonna look. Jordan Love is still a young guy, and he just flashed. So it's not like he deserves a huge bag either, even though some people think he does.
I mean, what he flashes is obviously worth money, but I agree.
Right.
If we're gonna, I think Tua's worth more than him
but they would
production alone.
Right, they would still be playing on
Doesn't his
paying on
flash
projection.
also include a playoff win?
Right, but they would
Yes.
still be paying on projection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Long term wise. So now, you know, I mean, all of a sudden, the three guys left are all represented by the same group that are trying to arguably get way more money than their guy's worth and quote unquote reset the market so they can make a big name for themselves and have a big payday for themselves. And the league, by putting something like this out, must be recognizing that, and
Thank
they're
you,
not
Nene.
going to let that cabal happen. Basically, they're going to be like, no, that's their pushback. Like, yo,
Well,
y'all
Color, now you're picking up what I'm putting down.
They should have did this about 12 signings ago. Right after Mahomes signed his contract, then they could have capped it. They've been justified of using him as the ceiling.
Well,
Well, the
hold
They
on,
Daniel
should have
Color.
did
Jones
this
signing
after
is
Mahomes signed his
instructive.
contract.
The Daniel Jones signing was really the Le'Veon Bell moment, I think, where a threshold was passed, right? In a market town like New York City, for that to not have worked out, that was, you know, an alarm.
But
And
again, KP, that started. I agree with you. That was the cross over the line, but they jumped exponentially further than
from
that
that,
since then.
absolutely, yes,
Since the Deshaun Watson and everything since that,
right.
you know, with these guys
Herbert,
making
Watson. Mhm.
190 to 200 million dollars in guarantees. Real quick, Ali, shout out to Nene. Appreciate you for the $5 donation. We do our best, and thank you for you know, shedding light in the spaces today with all the celebratory day stuff. Anyhow, I would say this, right, about these contracts, and Color kind of touched on it. All three of these guys are left, and Athletes First wants to control the quarterback market and wants to get all the quarterbacks. It's literally their credo, right? That's what they want. They want to get enough of the quarterbacks to dictate the market, to essentially hold the NFL over a barrel.
right,
And they're exhibiting that right now
right. And I
by
think that
taking
real quick,
three
I think this,
quarterbacks and negotiating in such a manner that they're going to be tied to each other. And
right,
they're again, hold on, Color. To me, what happens if Athletes First convinces their clients, all three of them, to hold firm, and all three play this year, and then all three enter a free agent market? The market will explode. Whoever gets signed first, it's going to be the biggest deal of all time, because purchasing on a free agent market always dictates overpay. And my point is, remember the guys who signed this year and last year that all broke the market. They really want one of these three quarterbacks to go, if not probably all three, to essentially control the quarterback market.
Didn't we already do
right. Well,
a deep dive
quickly, I think
into?
this report. I'm sorry, Ali. I'll give it to you. Just one quick second. I think this report is basically the NFL saber rattling back. Go ahead, Ali.
Well, there's a couple things. First of all, we
Yeah,
did
that's
do a
gonna
deep dive
that.
previously, I believe, in the teams that would be interested in signing Tua had he become a free agent. And that also includes for the other quarterbacks that still have to be paid. There's not very many places they can go to. Thus, those teams would be betting against themselves to pay so high when they don't need to. First of all, that's number one. Number two, that's my first evidence of that is that I think the leverage is still held by the ownership. The other part of this is, who are those teams or GMs or owners that have considered this cap? Do we have any of that in the report?
No, they haven't given any names on it.
The reason I bring this up, El Cap, and I apologize, I just want to make this evident. In other sports, they actually have something called financial fair play. And if you put a cap on quarterbacks, I honestly think this is a benefit to those teams that have a smaller market, like that team up in Duval County, the Jaguars, or other areas, other
Small
teams
market
that,
team.
yeah, like even Charlotte, for example, like the Charlotte Panthers.
It makes it it's more
And
fair
it makes,
at the minimum.
it becomes more fair, and it gives them more the ability to be to contend more. Competition will be much higher if you get my drift, because the
So
teams can start to balance
me,
out.
real quick, Ali, when they say a cap, I would say like they go quarterbacks, kind of like in the NBA when they get a quote unquote max deal. Yeah. The max deal will be no more than say 23.75% of the overall team salary.
Yeah, but I still
Right.
think that helps
Yeah.
them, because
Or
now they're
less
not
than
having
that,
to worry
It'd
about
be like a fifth.
Now
It
they won't
would
have
be-
to outbid another team.
Well, again,
That's what I'm saying.
here's another solution: is to define, like the NFL could literally come out with their, brilliant writers and brilliant think tank and all that, and define what it is to be a franchise quarterback. In other words, if a team makes a designation publicly and fairness that this is the guy we believe in, and instead of just speaking with a forked tongue whenever they say this is our guy, they need to submit some kind of declaration to the NFL that this is a franchise guy, and then at that point the salary is fixed at a percentage of the salary cap, and they get every dime of it. That's a fair thing, because then you're going to have a team have to declare, hey, yes, this is the guy we believe in, or no, the money's going to go to building the rest of the team till we find that guy.
But isn't this all just an indictment on Tua, on our quarterback?
That would be
the
more
entire argument surfaces at the time of his supposed extension. I mean, I think it took this to happen for the league to get serious about considering what it's considering here, what we're discussing tonight. And for me, that's just an indictment on the propaganda that's been levied around here for so many years from the so-called TuaNon group. This is an indictment. You've got, if you heard the Pelissaro report from early this morning, right? It echoed some of what's been growing, that this guy is not worth the maximum money that that's been discussed. It's just what it is.
Well, KP, what I think you're to me, what I get out of what you just said is that our executives, lawyers, general manager, whoever, does not believe the same way that your average diehard Tua sycophant does.
Right, and
what he's worth.
And this organization has to hold itself.
If they did, the deal would have been done when we could have got it cheaper.
To give an example, color of the sycophant that I know, and I know KP is going to jump all over this. We hear two things. It's not my money. I hate when I hear that it's not my money. I hate that. And then
that's
the
always
market
the rebuttal.
is what the market is.
Right.
Those two sayings I can't stand, because saying it's not your money is a fact, but it's a false fact.
Right,
It's
because
fake
it goes
news.
both ways. If he
Because
falls out,
your money, if your team decides to go bankrupt to play one player and you don't get wins because of such said, you got to
raise ticket prices.
Right, you got to spend
raise
money.
ticket prices, and you get a poor product, and you've wasted money.
On the other token,
money is time, dog, and it's my time. Might not be my money, but it is my time.
On the other token, if you make him bet on himself and he balls out, it still ain't our money. Who cares if he costs an extra 10, 50 million at that point? Remember, it's not our money.
Right, it's still not our money either way.
Works both ways.
Either way.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate.
I guess the justification of people always using it. If one team is unwise with their money, that justifies us for being unwise with our money. That's the
that had been the trend. That had been the trend leading up to this point.
That's the part that I
The
can't
other one is the market is the market, right? The
Right.
market is the market. Well, number one, the market was the market. The housing market was the market in
2008, and look what
last
happened.
time we won the division. Okay, and I'll say it again. It's probably the fifth time I've said this. but I hardly doubt anybody that bought $100,000 home for $500,000 is still living in that house.
Exactly.
Okay. Secondly, the market is the market. Okay, so should Baker Mayfield fire his agent?
He should fire. Yeah. On that note, yeah, he should fire his agent. Yeah, if you're gonna go by that,
Fair enough.
he should fire it.
There's something called market correction, right?
And market. That's what I was about to say, KP.
And that's what's being discussed now. But the other factor here, though, is that I mean, it is an inflationary cycle with the NFL as a whole, given the new revenue streams coming in and the salary cap going up. So that makes the discussion that much more interesting, because the agents and the quarterbacks are right to press for more and more, but given that environment,
even in that, the KP, they have to do it with a certain degree. Markets are also irrational too.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, those are called bubbles.
Hold on, caller. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, with the amount with that money and that YouTube money coming in, right? That's increasing the cap every year. That goes for all positions, not just quarterbacks. All of them are going to want more money.
Yeah.
So naturally,
Jason Sanders should ask for more money, right, Ali?
Naturally go up.
Right.
But what we're trying to avoid is the extreme increase that has no basis. They're just trying to do it astronomically without any reason.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Ali. In the system that I described earlier as a solution. If everybody's designated the same percentage, once you're declared the franchise guy, then that is incumbent upon all of those quarterbacks to play well enough so that the product on the TV increases in value, and they all get an increase in pay because the percentage is the same. But like you said, if the cap's going up, then that percentage will net more money.
The point I'm getting to is this, though. The Dolphins are complicit in this inflationary market, given what they've done to every team is going to want to support its players towards the bottom line of putting a winning product on the field, right? But when you consider the last 4 years and the efforts that the team has done to insulate Tua, protect him from the criticism, create a system that works for him, produce numbers, right, that put him into the MVP talk, that got him an All-Pro, right, that haven't helped us win, right, or go deep in the playoffs, but have made him confident enough to become the guy who's now going to press to reset the market. So it's almost as if the organization is working against itself. In one hand, boosting up the player on one hand, while now, I don't want to pay him what I've made him believe he was worth or what he should ask for at this time.
Right.
And
it would be like if Emerson back in the day were to say, well, hey, look at our sales numbers, and that speaks to our quality of product.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Miami's stance is the fact. I think Miami's stance is the fact that they've already made the payment to Tua by bringing in his style of coach, the players around him. They've already paid for him up front. He should pay them back. It's basically what they're kind of looking at, and I agree with their stance. I don't want Chris Greer to move off his stone. To be honest, I want him to keep the path they're going, because really, you think about it. Since we brought in Tyreek, since we brought in McDaniel, we've actually played Moneyball a lot of areas on this team, and it's actually worked out. So Moneyball is working. I don't think you should move off of it, to be honest.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
So right now, before the Calais Campbell deal comes up and around, the Dolphins have right around 16 million. That's after Marcus May's money comes through, which he got like 500,000 guaranteed. The Dolphins have about 16 million in cap space to the good right now. Calais Campbell's deal is going to come in. I gotta imagine it's a minimum of like $4.5 million, right? So say the Dolphins have $10 million left over. There is going to be some rollover money and stuff, and we got to take into consideration what the market kind of is with paying to it. And I feel like there's a very fair deal. The thing I'm questioning here, gentlemen and ladies and people in chat and everything like that, are we being held hostage by a representation organization? Are 3 NFL teams being held hostage because these 3 quarterbacks who are, working deals can essentially work together to inflate their prices.
Yeah.
Because not a friggin' word is going to get to Tua Tagovailoa about what their numbers look at, that Tua Tagovailoa is not going to know about what Dak Prescott or Jordan Love. And they can kind of, it's something that in all the times we talked about leverage at the table, that we got to really consider more of what kind of pressures being applied. And I don't know, right? Like, the most expensive number in guarantees right now is $46 million a year guaranteed, and that is what Deshaun Watson got for Cleveland. He is getting the most per year in guarantees on average. The other numbers where they're $55 million a year, all that stuff, that's all potential money earned and all that stuff. Really, the market has kind of settled in right around that 43 to 45 million. If all 3 of these quarterbacks are saying they want to reset the market, they want to be all 3 north of 46 million a year in guarantees. That's 47 to 50. Which one of these guys is getting 50 million a year guaranteed over 5 years? You see what I'm saying? And we're entering into a real dicey situation where, if not one, all 3 of these organizations are going to overpay, right? Overpay, because one's going to set the market, the next is going to set the market, and the last one's going to set the market to that if they can help it. And I just really wonder if they want to get to where they're going, say, north of 50 million a year guaranteed. Does this organization have? I mean, I'm just wondering, athletes first, like, how deep does this go, right? If they say to their 3 athletes that are quarterbacks, let's all hold in together. If one of them goes down, we have a revenue share partnership with the team and we can sign this deal. Like, are they willing to go that far? Right? Is there some kind of profit sharing going on with this deal? Is there an ownership stake? Could they put in the language that, you can take, if all 3 of you do this and ride and force all these teams to a free agency quarterback abundance where we can maneuver and put pressure in a way, we can get you all 50 plus million. And if somebody goes down with injury, so it puts a damper on that, we're going to make sure to make up the difference as a company behind the scenes outside of the salary cap, whatever that means, whether it's stock sharing, revenue, investments, something else. I don't know. Listen, I don't put past anybody or any corporation to have forward thinking to that type of effect. And if their board of trustees and fucking people that are in charge aren't talking in the way that I just suggested, then they're doing it wrong. Because I guarantee you these guys are talking in those types of languages, because it is a strong power play to maneuver something like that. And look no further than the last 3 quarterbacks that are wanting contracts that aren't signed are all represented by the same company.
So, in my opinion, there's only one team that's crazy enough to pay the amount of money you're thinking that these quarterbacks are going to get, and that's the Raiders, because that sounds like a Raider move. That's what they would do, right? I do think that if what you're saying is true, then Tua cares more about money than he does football. And at that point, I'd rather just draft somebody. I'm off of Tua at that point.
Well, we'll never get the clarity on a scheme like that, right? That's an internal thing.
I think we can really guesstimate if this is actually true based on what's going to happen here. If he's holding out and there's all these leaks coming out that we've offered him the bag and more, and he's not taking it, that's why what you're saying is very plausible.
Well, here I don't even need to wait that long, Ali. It's been widely known that their pitch is that they want to, get enough quarterbacks under their tutelage to control the quarterback market, and they're holding firm with 3 quarterbacks right now. You see what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. I'm not saying that their agenda, as in the agency's agenda with athletes first. I agree with that's probably their agenda, but I'm talking about the player standpoint. That person's mindset.
Plain and simple, Ali. If any one of these 3 quarterbacks would have signed for Trevor Lawrence money or even Jared Goff money, it would have been done. That's my point. Right now, they all want more than that. And I think they're all, and their company is about getting, doing it this way. They want more and everybody, and they want one of them to get it. And they want the first one to get it. So the 2 that follow, they can reset it 3 times. Could you imagine if you were a representation of athletes and you said 3 of our guys all reset each other one right after the other for more money? Every fucking athlete in every quarterback would come run into their door. The NFL owners and teams alike have other things on their mind with this situation. They got to be aware of the predicament that they found themselves in. This right here, with the news coming out about talking about salary caps, really sheds light on the awareness of NFL owners to the intentions of these 3 quarterbacks and athletes first representing them, and what their goals are is evident by the situation we find ourselves in. And to me, we have a little bit of a shadow war going on behind the scenes, if we're being completely transparent right now, right? I mean, am I just talking crazy here?
No, I wholeheartedly agree. Again, I used the words earlier. I think this report coming there, this article coming out or whatever, is the NFL saber rattling back to athletes first.
I agree. I agree with that.
It's amazing that more talking heads aren't talking about the fact that these 3 guys are represented by the same group.
Not only that, but it's amazing that, if and when they talk about what Tom
Pelissero will be, but
if and when they talk about what Tom Pelissero said, right? Are they going to talk about it in the extent that we are, with what it says to us, what it looks like, what it sounds like? Because athletes first, again, they want to control the quarterback market in the NFL. That is their goal, rightfully so. Because if you control that, you fucking control a lot. The NFL owners and NFL brass has got to understand that they can't allow an outside entity to control their money. And this could be a real deal.
If they were to implement a quarterback cap, wouldn't that have to be approved by the Players Association as well? Like, it had to be a bargaining agreement.
That would have to go in the collective bargaining agreement. Absolutely.
Here's something that I'll tell you about that. If there's a cap on quarterbacks, will the entire Players Association, all the players, vote for that, since there's limited amount of quarterbacks?
Interesting, right?
You know what I'm saying? It makes me wonder, because you think about it. You think about it, if they're gonna put caps.
Well, think about it like this, Ali. It's kind of like splitting up the union in a way, right? And crypto's gonna like this type of analogy here. It's where heavy capitalists split up the union by segregating in a type of system like you're talking about. Like, listen, we want to put a cap on here because everyone else that ain't a quarterback ain't gonna get more money. You want to be, wide receiver. You want running backs get more money. You want, kickers and punters and, or do you want us to draft and use up rookies with no new deals in every position because we can't sign guys because the quarterback's eating it up? You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you kind of
that's what I was
turn them
trying
on each other. Ali.
That's
And
exactly.
it would only be the rest of the league against 32 quarterbacks.
Yeah, that was my whole point. Like, if I'm a defensive lineman or a wide receiver or a running back, I'm like, hell yeah, cap their money so I can get a little bit more.
Ali, that's partly why I think the NFL feels that they have the leverage to saber rattle like they're doing right now. Like, hey, pump the brakes, athletes first. We'll just do something like this, and don't think we can't.
Yeah, to me, it's a warning shot, for lack of a better term. It's simply going, listen,
Right.
keep your shit up, and you can control what you control, and you'll lose all your leverage in your game plan because no one's going to get more than this, and players are either going to expect to get the max deal or they're going to get franchise tagged every year until we either give them a max deal or ship their ass up out of here.
It ain't like anybody's caping up for Javon Holland, who also uses athletes first.
It's true. Not yet, anyhow, Color. Not yet. Watch if Javon Holland has a more impactful season. And don't get me wrong, the Dolphins, as well, a lot of teams, right?
They'll come out and say the market.
As well, a lot of teams, when a guy's on a contract year, it's almost like they call their number a little bit more, right? It is timing too, but there is a give and take in that situation. And if you're a player like Javon Holland that is represented by athletes first, do the NFL teams look to get back at you in other ways? Like, you might have got us with these quarterbacks, but all of your other athletes we're not calling their number unless we have to. You know what I'm saying? It could really screw them on all the other athletes. Like, they could sow dissension in the ranks that way. These billionaires got a bunch of fucking, we got a dirty war going on here. It looks like we got a little bit of a dirty war going on here. I don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting.
I'm trying to find the press conference where Jason Sanders said the market is the market. I just wonder.
It's everywhere. You ain't even got to look for it, dude. Not that, but I'm just saying, like, the fans say, I hear it every year. It's like it's literally sheeple speak to me. Tell me you don't know much about anything when you just parrot, market is what the market is. Players get more money because players get more money. It's like, dude, no one's
like grabbing onto holy rosaries or a crucifix or something. Like, the market is the market. It shields me from whatever argument you have.
Mm-hmm. So it's things to take into consideration.
It is a shield, though. When you think about it, that was how it was being used. Yeah, he definitely was using it as a shield. No doubt. Like, damn. Well, how do you follow that?
So, and we'll just monitor this situation in the weeks coming. I still think Tua's going to take a deal because I think, again, as much as they might be athletes first, the team, you got to be your own man and think what's best for you. And I think cooler heads will prevail and Tua will take a contract, and that'll be the end of it. But if that doesn't happen and we're watching week 1, week 2, and none of these quarterbacks are signed, I am going to go right back to this episode and say, we were right. This is what's happening. They are making an absolute power move, athletes first, in the quarterback market versus the NFL's and the salary cap. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, it's not like we haven't seen the NFL make do it before. I mean, the running back market a few years ago after Le'Veon Bell, they changed the paradigm.
Remember when they've done it recently over a few years with tight ends? Everybody was trying to find the next Gronkowski and paying, and a tight end would have a pretty good year and they would sign him for all this big money, and then these last couple of years they've petered off, and it's
Definitely.
regressed back to the meme. You
What
know what I'm
about
saying?
will we start to see little media warfare between athletes first in the NFL? Kind of like
So
what you hold on. Kind of like what you saw with Lamar Jackson and his that lawyer or whatever. Remember how they saying don't negotiate with this lawyer or whoever if he reaches out to you? We saw all that in the media. Are we gonna start seeing stuff like that happen?
I would say this, Ali. If we do, we know that we're right on money. Like if we don't and things stay quiet and everyone stays cordial, that means negotiations are happening. But this Tom Pelissero talking coming out and everything else, if more keeps coming out, athletes first does this or that or whatever, NFL owners, drop more little hidden gems out there, then yeah, I would say yes. That's yet to be seen. I do know right now it seems to be pretty quiet, and then this type of stuff comes around the yonder, so it's really not as quiet as we think. But I will real quick, and Cap for Life touches base a little bit. Something I wanted to talk about. Connor Williams is. Adam Schefter reported that Connor Williams is expected to be healthy and is expecting to be ready for week 1. There has been some photos surfacing about him, and he has lost a ton of weight. It's hard to put on them calories and do it in a healthy way when you're injured. So they probably wisely let him, lose weight, but he's going to have to gain that weight back. And not that gaining weight is a hard thing to do. It's doing it the right and healthy way. I'm sure, he's a consummate professional, but also with the injury and adding more weight and putting it on that injury, is he still going to be ready for week 1? I don't know. They are, the way it was written and reported on is that expects to be signed with a team and snapping the football week 1. And that might be so, because let's call it for what it is. Connor Williams last year was one of the best rated centers while he was playing. And he in a highly touted, a lot of people would really like to have an answer at center. But also in the same token, all these teams have drafted guys. All these teams have addressed things in free agency and UDFAs and draft picks and street guys, whatever. They have plans in places for a world without Connor Williams in it, right? A lot of teams. So no matter what, I don't see Connor Williams signing at anywhere until these teams see if what they have is better or cheaper. Correct? So will he be with another team? I hope so. I mean, for his sake. Is it going to be the Dolphins? I hope so. But that remains to be seen. What do you guys think about Connor Williams?
I don't know. I'm a little doubtful on him. I think he's going to be a Charger.
You think everybody's going to be a Charger, Crypto?
Well, he played for us, man. I liked him a lot. I thought he was a very effective center. Anything close to what he was going to be, then I would like to have him back. But like you said, I mean, that's pretty scary. If you had to lose weight to help the injury heal and rehabilitate, that's a long road back to being what you once were. So I would have my doubts about him.
If he's smart and if teams are smart, I think he waits to sign to later in the season, give him more time to build some of that muscle up, to get gain more weight, to be better game ready. Because I doubt the condition he's currently in, even if he did lose a shit ton of weight and stuff to get better, I doubt he's nowhere near being game ready.
And Ollie, to that point, would buy us time to wait and see what happens with other teams after camp, because again, there are rumors about a guy up in Baltimore that's a really good quality starter that could be beat out by, as Cap pointed out, a team, for example, to his point, would be like the Ravens, who brought in some rookies, brought in some free agents, and they kind of are expecting one of those guys to beat this guy out. Now, you might say, oh, well, that means he got beat out by whoever. No, he's still a good center. They're trying to look to the future and get out of that contract. So they're hoping one of these guys coming up will beat him out. And if that happens, you're looking at a really quality center like Ben Cleveland in Baltimore becoming available before the season starts. So
I'm not worried about center though, man. We need a guard. Everybody knows it, bro.
I'm just saying that there may be other options come open if we are allowed the time to wait on Connor Williams.
I am worried about center, Ali. I am not sold on Brewer. From the time we signed him, I think he's too small for the position. I think his rating against. Hold on, let me finish.
Well, yeah,
I think his rating against pass rushers is a glaring warning sign when it comes to projecting him as our starting center. And that's just where I stand on Brewer. But go ahead, Ali.
Color, you have a fan in the chat.
Twitch troll.
Yeah, you got a real fan, Color.
But I do like this comment right here before we block him. Check this out.
I'm not blocking him. That's your secret admirer. I'm leaving that in there.
This one.
Wow.
Man.
But I am cute, but I'm not defenseless.
Not yet.
To respond to KP, I definitely agree. I can understand your concern with Brewer, but if you really go back and look at Eichenberg being the center, besides the first game with the Bills, did we really lose the game because Eichenberg was the center? No, we didn't.
No.
Not a single game.
I don't know why they go to that game. The point differential is way too great to say one guy lost the game.
Well, yeah, I understand, but I'm saying that was his worst game of the season, in my opinion, right? And that's why I referenced that one game. Every other game, he got better and better. And to be honest, I think that's his position. The fact that they brought in Brewer, that kind of surprised me, but I understand they want to become a more running-based team, and he does pull very well, and it helps us run Jalen Wright in the inside, which is his game. So I kind of like that. But then again, you're leaving your right guard position open, man, and that's why I'm most worried about that right guard position. You got Isaiah Wynn on the other side. Who do you have on the other side? Now, Eichenberg says he's up to the challenge. He wants to crack at it. He wants to do it. I like that.
I think Eichenberg should snap the ball, and we should put Brewer at guard. I still think we need a right guard, no matter what. He doesn't even have to be a Brewer's the right guard, and Eichenberg's the center. I like that.
I'll give you a different one. I think Matthew Jones ends up becoming the right guard, and Eichenberg being the backup guard/center. That's what I think.
And Brewer was a terrible signing. Damn.
No, I didn't say that. I said
I want
Brewer's
to
going to
hand the
be
ball
the
off to
center.
Eichenberg as a
Matthew
fullback.
Jones is going to be the backup guard.
Yeah, we can do what Mike Dicker did in 84 color.
What's
Yeah.
up, John?
That'll work.
Yeah, I heard. I like what KP said.
William Perry.
I'm really I'm uncertain about this Brewer guy. I thought he was small when we got him. Again, I don't mind a shorter center because it is center, and that they and sometimes if it means that he's a little shorter and smaller and lighter, it might mean he's a little faster and can get out into space, which I would enjoy, and they could utilize that. Plus, I'm going to say it, our quarterback isn't the tallest quarterback, so that might be tactically as well. But the fact that we signed him for the money we signed him for and reports up to this point haven't been good is not a good sign. So,
yeah.
But, maybe come around camp, he'll be feeling better. And, come in the preseason, I don't know, they roll out the starters and we see them out there in action. And we're like, all right, we're good. So it's just interesting, a lot of little tidbit things. We're still waiting to see the Calais Campbell money come out and what that hit is going to look like. But, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Then,
speaking of Campbell, I think he's going to have a more critical role on that defensive line than we can imagine. I think he is the missing piece to that defensive line being a operational unit. And to that, I hope, he's a UM guy. I root for him. He's had a great career. I hope he's not coming down here to just get a retirement check. I'm hoping he's going to continue the high level of play.
KP.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
KP,
you know,
I think super integral in the beginning, right? I think
mhm,
in a perfect world, he's coming in as the placeholder for the first, till the first 6 games, 6 weeks or whatever, right? And then
mhm.
working in our starters on the outside linebacker position and Chubb and Phillips, getting them going, and then he can take a step back, right? And then kind of be on more of a snap count and be more of a package type of guy.
And
And then when we get into, bigger games later in the year and into the playoffs, we got this
I don't think they're
bad boy
standing him
helmet.
up though at all. I think he's going to have his hand in the dirt on every play.
Right,
He's gonna be-
I'm sorry to interrupt both of you, but Cap and KP, the comp that I would say as far as career trajectory and what I think he could bring to the table this year in his 17th season, I just think about like that guy from Pittsburgh, man. Was it James Washington? Is that who I'm?
Hayward, Cameron Hayward.
No, the guy he was in like his retirement year, bro. The guy was just absolutely balling out all over the place.
Oh, I don't know. It happens a lot.
Harrison.
He was a linebacker. He was an edge rusher, linebacker type.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Was it James Harrison?
James.
Yeah.
I thought it was James Washington, but it could have been Harrison.
Yeah, Jamison Harrison. Yeah, James Harrison with Pittsburgh. He was killer.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of because they by then the guy was like 90 years old. You know what I mean? And they just kind of
but Kelly Campbell,
it was well-timed aggression all season with that guy up and in through the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think Calais Campbell though is going to be an outside linebacker edge. I don't think he's that anymore. With his, I think he's more of a 5 technique D lineman. He's going to be one of those 3 D linemen.
I think it's gonna be more of an end role.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just mean that we're gonna be able to he's not gonna be like you understand what I'm saying? Like as far as similar season where he's just coming in when every time he's in, he's fresh.
Here's what I'm thinking.
He's ever given us in his career.
To that point, you scheme up in the latter part of the season when your Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubbs are healthy. You scheme up those guys to get north and south on one side of the formation that forces him up and to fucking Calais Campbell's way. You're winning.
Right. That way you're getting his first year in Jacksonville every time he's on the field. You know what I mean?
When you're calling his number and in situational football and utilizing him to be fresh and play well. And then when you're down late in the game and you need defense to do something, you just star stud your fucking with everyone you got and just say, guys, fuck this up, make something happen. And who better to call the name of on one of your dudes to put in there is a guy like Calais Campbell. It's a great move. I hope he stays.
Yeah, I agree. I love the move too. I don't mean to downplay the move.
No, not at all. I didn't think you were. I thought I agreed wholeheartedly with your point. I feel like he's going to be a super impactful early on and then later on. I think that's the way to look at it.
And it's not just the star stud your defense and make something happen. That's not what it's about. This actually has ability to set the tone for the following several years by creating the foundation that our defensive coordinator wants to bring here. You know what I mean? You think about it. He's familiar with our defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah. And the system and the terminology.
He's a coach on the field. Yeah, he's basically a coach on the field. An older veteran.
Wise, I think KP is sort of probably not just right to be concerned, but right in the respect that, yeah, of course he's coming down here for a retirement check. But both could be true that he still plans to give it his best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. If things go to plan, I mean, it's the perfect situation, especially on a team where you've got a lot of young, talented guys on that D line or on the edge. I mean, what better guy to learn from than Kelly Campbell for Chop, for Kamara, for even Jalen Phillips, a guy with the kind of wingspan and range.
A new defense. It's another new defense. Jalen Phillips got to learn. Shout out to Andy with $5 donate. Salute, buddy. Appreciate you, bud. here's
and
something.
we're praying for your boy Grumpy, man.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to say that earlier.
I keep hearing pray for Grumpy. What happened with Grump?
He's really sick.
He's very sick,
apparently
man.
he's got some breathing issues.
He's in the hospital, bro.
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh
He's been
no,
hospitalized
dude!
since he
And
came
it doesn't
through.
look good. It really
Oh,
does.
We don't know
shit.
why, but I would suspect there's a new strain of COVID going around that's really putting some people down. So maybe that is the culprit here. I don't know. It's pure
know.
speculation. But
I
we're
don't know.
praying
It's
for him.
summertime. Usually isn't the case because everything's dead from the heat.
Yeah, supposedly. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to reach out to Grumpy and see if everything's all right, man. The homie, I like Grump. Salute and prayers to Grumpy, and thank you, Andy, for the donation. I will say, to me, with that, what you're questioning about KP about what Calais Campbell, what we can have at realistic expectations, not only what he's gonna make, but like how the contract is structured is gonna tell me, what he's. So if like say it's we'll just $8.5 million deal, right? But only 3.5 is guaranteed with a lot of bonus incentives, that would tell me he's looking to fucking hit some bonuses, right? He ain't dumb. He gonna not just want to be the guy and be this. He's gonna want to make money too. And give me a hungry dog. Give me a hungry dog all the time, right? And a hungry old mean ass dog at that. I like those. So if he's in there, with sack total bonuses written into his contract, that's going to be good for us. So I'll be looking into that situation as well. So there's going to be some tips. If it's like a fully guaranteed $8 million or $7 million deal with potential to make 2 or 3 more million, I'm not going to hate it because I still think the guy's worth money around that. But if it doesn't end well, I'll look back at how the Dolphins had a missed opportunity to be a little bit more incentive based to get production out of players.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You're good.
I was just gonna say it is going to be very interesting what we actually sign him for because of the fact that his projected amount that people were saying for a 1-year contract in this 2024 free agency market, they were expecting him to get at least $8.5 million.
That's right. It was around 7 to 8 million is the numbers, right? For monies. So we'll see. We'll see what it is.
And the fact that we've been playing Moneyball, I wonder if he took the team friendly deal or what that all includes. It's just going to be very interesting. That's all I'm missing.
Well, the way they're writing contracts now, it could be a 1-year guarantees, but a 2-year deal where they spread the dead cap, or they could even write it into a 3-year deal and spread the dead cap 2 years down the road when we got a shit ton of money and pay him, a lot of incentives. And they're writing backdoor contracts like that now. So say it was like a $12 million deal, but only $4 million guaranteed. And they write it in for a 1 year of $4 million guaranteed. Well, he hits tons of numbers and gets $10 million worth of money in the 1 year and is gone the next. They could even float that dead cap over 2 years to not hurt the team for the remaining 6-7 million that they got to pay him for the incentives hits. They're backdooring deals. I've been looking at it. It's crazy. Look at the Aaron Brewer contract if you get a chance. If you get a chance, look up the Aaron Brewer contract and how they manipulated that money. And just look at it year by year by year. You'd be like, holy shit, that's how they're doing things now. Mm-hmm. That's how they're doing it. So, but all right, boys, that's kind of all I wanted to get into tonight, man. I appreciate you guys coming through. I appreciate everybody in chat. Prayers out to Grumpy. Sad news from Grump, friend of the show, friend of the family. Happy Juneteenth, everyone, as well. And in the comment sections at the end of the video, everybody, let us know what you think about the QB salary cap. Are you for a QB salary cap? Are you against a QB salary cap? Or are you like, hey, fucking get paid? Do you believe in some form of regulations, or do you believe in free market demands? Let us know in the chat. at the end of the video. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, become a member by hitting the join button at the homepage or anywhere on the video. Hit the join button, become a member, help support the program. We appreciate everybody. Go see tftgnetwork.com for all the good stuff, and we'll catch you guys next time.